welcome to Cumulus Service, and it's all about AI and ERP. And today I'm going to be discussing a very, very familiar use case, and I'm sure that everyone in his organization had the chance to ingest invoices coming from vendors. And the one thing that always disturbs us and even frustrates us is that we have to manually take care of those documents. We have to print them, we have to go line by line, we have to approve them, and then we have to basically push them into our ERP. In the world of AI agents, we're not only able to chat with our AI agent and be the ones who actually invoke the conversation. We can also have the agent invoking the conversation itself by actually tying the agent to a business scenario or to a business event. In the case of an incoming invoice, we have an event that comes in, which is the email, and then we have the agent sitting on top of our inbox or mailbox, scanning it, and then acting proactively and reaching out to us whenever is needed. So the scenario today will be the scenario where I'm going to be sending a bunch of invoices, and then we're going to see how an AI agent that sits on top of my mailbox responds to different scenarios, and we're going to also check out a few of the layouts that we are ingesting here. So the first thing is, of course, to log into our SAP Business One system. In our case, it's an SAP Business One system that's running on SMB Solutions Cloud Services. And the first thing that I'm going to do in order to invoke my agent is to basically receive an email. So I'm going to start a mail, and I'm going to send a mail to my own inbox. I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to tag the email, and we can check out really quickly how the invoice looks like. It's a standard items invoice. We can see that there's items here. We can see that the invoice is structured in the way that it's structured, and we're not going to pay too much attention to it. We're going to send it, and then the invoice is going to come in. Here it is. And I can, of course, continue with my work. I don't really need to do anything when emails come in. I just need to be able to respond to the agent whenever the agent is interacting with me. So let's just wait and see what happens with that invoice. Let's just give it a few seconds. So we can see that we got a new message, and our original email got flagged. And look what we have here. We have AP invoice 1126 has been created successfully. So we can go to SAP Business One. All we need to do is to go to the last record. We can, of course, create drafts at the beginning. For those of you who would like to build their trust, I always suggest to create drafts, and then we can test it that way. But in this case, for the demo purposes, I went straight ahead and configured the agent to create straight on AP invoices. But we can see that the agent right now has properly mapped all the information to the document. We also have the attachment here, so we can take a look. We can check out the amounts. We can see that basically everything is at well, and that's a scenario where all the records exist in Business One, and invoices just get created automatically. Another scenario would be, and I'm just going to send another email here, is let's just take this one and also tag the mail. And I'm just going to open it really quickly. So it's another invoice sent by Anthropic. It's just one of those invoices that I got that I'm trying to play with. So I'm basically also going to send it to myself. And here it is. It's being sent. So now I just want to see how the agent responds. Because I made a small change in Business One, you're going to see it in a minute, but I just want to see if the agent responds correctly to that scenario, which could happen a lot. So let's just give it a few moments. And let's have a look at the incoming message, and look at that. I got a message saying that I have multiple SAP Business One customers that were detected for that given document. So it means that if I go now to SAP Business One and I'm trying to go to my business partners and look for that particular name, I can see that I have two of those. And this is a very familiar scenario because sometimes we have the same vendor's name against two different business partner codes, and that's a very typical and common scenario. Sometimes they're being managed by different currencies. So I can see that there's two different card codes, and it's exactly what the agent is telling me. It's telling me you need to select the right business partner code, and I'm just gonna hit that one, and I'm gonna hit submit. And look, that I'm doing everything on the email itself. I'm not really moving away from the email environment. And if I'm just gonna wait for a few more seconds, then I can see that the email changes, and I get that a new record has been created. So let's just go ahead and check it out. Let's go to this 1127 record. And you can see that we have that thing also settled here. But the important thing to notice is that this time, as opposed to the previous invoice where we created an items invoice, in this case we created a service invoice, because the agent was smart enough to understand that the content of the invoice does not constitute as a items invoice, so it created a service invoice, and it's indeed a service invoice. So the agent can also infer the right document type, which is important in so many cases. So we have another situation where we had multiple business partner codes, and of course the natural thing would be to inquire about scenarios where there is no valid business partner code, and I also want to demonstrate that. So I'm going to send another email to myself, and I'm going to select this invoice, and this invoice, this vendor does not exist in my SAP system, so I'm just going to tag it. And I'm going to send it. So I have a new incoming email with a non-existent vendor, and I want to see what happens when the agent understands that this is not an existing vendor. Let's just give it another moment. And I do get an email saying no valid SAP Business One customer code was detected for ALO. And that's really cool. And the one thing that we can also use agents for is in cases where records are missing in our ERP, and that's really important, because we can use the agent in order to also create those records. So I can definitely go ahead and decide to create the new business partner. It could be very well items or a business partner, but in this case I can add as many input fields as I would like and go ahead and create it. In this case I'm just going to go and I want to choose my own business partner. So I can go to my system, assuming that I went and found out that, let's say, I'm searching for something. I think I have a test vendor here somewhere, so I want to do it on against this one, V113. So I can go and I can say V113 and just submit it. And I expect it to also create a service invoice because this was a service invoice, and I do get a new record, 1128. So I can just go and take a look. So 1128 is created as a service invoice for that vendor, and as I can see, I have all the information here, and that's basically it. So we just seeing how we can ingest different documents via AI agents. So this could very well be, in this case it's invoices, but it could be purchase orders that we want to convert to sales orders. It could be quotations. It could be whatever document that comes in. And once we set up the agents correctly, we can make sure that those documents are ingested correctly, and then we can take subsequent actions and basically interact with the users. We also saw how we can interact via the Outlook environment, so we don't really have to bounce between different platforms. And that's basically it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions, just let us know. Thank you so much.